Hey guys, it is 10:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Thursday, September 8th, 2016. 2 days ago, on Tuesday, September 6th, 2016, at exactly 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I got to go see the band AC/DC. From 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to 12 o'clock p.m. or a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Wednesday, September 7th, 2016, they were performing the songs that we like, including the ones from the newest album, Rock or Bust. Sorry. All the way to the ones from Livewire, to Hell's Bells, to Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, and there was a whole bunch of them. I didn't get Highway to Hell on video, though. I was in the bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and I couldn't wait. And I thought they were taking a break for a minute because they had plenty of time. And I run to that bathroom, and a second later, like 7 seconds later, I hear the song Highway to Hell start, and I'm like, dang, I missed it. I really wanted to hear it, or play, or video it, whatever. But I can't be mad at myself for that. I mean, I am mad at myself that I missed it, but it's over with now, and I got a couple of friends there that videotaped it and backed me up. And I'm not going to claim ownership of their videos because it is against YouTube policy. But I want to explain my experience, my personal experience, seeing the Angus Young perform with AC/DC. Even though it's not really AC/DC anymore, it's technically called the Angus Young Show. And that's what the people at the stadium referred to it as, because there are not really any original members left. Or Brian, I know Bon was the second original frontman, and Brian was the third, so, I gotta hand it to Axl, though. I will go ahead and throw this out there, that he did not do as bad as I thought he would, but I'm not gonna say he was no Brian Johnson or, Bon Scott, He doesn't have that power, he doesn't have that charisma that they did. And even though I wasn't alive during the Bon era of the band, I wasn't born until like 18 years after his death. I still like him, okay? I've seen his videos. I've seen the power he can bring. Or he could have bring, you know what I meant. Brung, you know what I meant. Whatever. And I was born around the time, actually a couple of years after Ballbreaker was released, and a couple of years before Stiff Upper Lip was. So I was born in between albums. Literally. I actually remember when I got my copy of Stiff Upper Lip, my first copy, and I was 2.5 years old, and my dad took me into the store to get that copy of the copy of that album, and well, to make a long story short, that album disappeared like weeks after I got it. I guess because I was a little near 3-year-old girl, they thought I wouldn't notice my own album missing. Sorry. I had to yawn. Sorry. But anyways, here's how the experience for my first concert was, and I can't believe but I'm proud to say that my first concert was an AC/DC concert. The concert was it was so cool that there is not words in any human language to explain how amazing it was. Even though Axl Rose was there. Axl sounds like crap normally, but I think with AC/DC he doesn't sound all that bad, let's just say. I know I said previously already in this recording that I got a hint to Axl, he doesn't sound too bad. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's not my favorite, My favorite frontman was obviously Brian. I cried for like 3 days straight after I found out Brian had departed from the band on April 17th, 2016. I remember what date he departed from the band. And I don't remember the exact statement that they made saying that he departed from the band, but I know it has to be on the AC/DC website, so I'll definitely be looking that up later. But here's how to explain my experience. It was so energized in there, energetic, so loud, so thrilling and rushing and all that, and you know, when you see that space shuttle in the intro of Rocker Bust, which I recorded it and put it on here, and 3 minutes later, after it shows up and they do the radar flight looks good, or you are to go to continue power descent. You are go to continue power descent. Radar flight looks good. The Eagle has landed. That is one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Hold on, we're picking up some strange readings here. We're gonna go investigate. And after that giant rock on fire shoots off the moon and flies through space and hits Rosie and goes right beside the rock and roll train and goes through the Hell's Bells bell and shoots past a satellite playing Back in Black. And when it morphs into Angus's face and he hits Phoenix, or he hits Arizona, and after that everything just went wild. Everybody in there was jumping around. Everyone in there was probably drunk. There was a lot of people in there passing around bottles and cups of beer, and I think I accidentally got some thrown on me, but it was pretty cool. It was the best experience of my life. Probably one of the most unforgettable days I'll ever have. I even get to say to my future children, I get to say, hey, your mama's first band was AC/DC, she said. And maybe we'll get lucky and they'll regroup with their old bassist Mark Evans, or they're one of their old drummers Phil Rudd or Simon Wright, and get back with Brian Johnson and do a farewell album and a farewell tour called The Final Stand, which would be amazing if they did like 30 cities in America and like Cleveland and Columbus and Charleston again. Which I didn't do Charleston this tour. They did it the last tour, which was Black Ice, about 6 years ago. And I know that's 6 year to 8 year gap. Okay, let's just say 4 to 6 to 8 year gap is where they come up with the albums and the riffs and the songs and all that. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to my point here. My point is, I went to go see one of the loudest rock bands on the planet, and I am proud to say that my first concert was AC/DC. I got a couple of things, like merchandise from there. I got a, like a keychain sort. It's like a keychain, but it goes around your neck, holds your ID card or whatever card you put in there. And, or it could be a keychain, either or. And I got my tickets, and I got to keep those. So I put them inside of it and hung it up as a, well, I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to hang it up as a remembering thing. And I got some confetti that Angus actually touched and threw back up in the air over those giant fans that let the confetti out, around him and all that. And all of us fans caught it. And we were just having a rocking time there because we were rocking the blues away up all night and day, because it was literally night and day when we walked in and walked out of there. It was around, I think it was around 7:30 p.m. when we walked in the stadium, and it took us an hour to get through security checkpoint. Like, search our bags, make sure we had nothing on us to be terrorists or no guns to shoot anybody or whatever. Of course, I guess that would be the same thing as terrorists, but making sure we weren't hoarding any drugs in there that didn't belong to us, or meth or marijuana or whatever. And I'm jumping from topic to topic, but I'm just saying it took us a long time to get in there. They literally rocked the blues away up all night and day. And it took about an hour and 30 minutes for the band to actually get prepared to go on stage. I guess they lost track of time back there, having a good time drinking their English tea and talking in their accents. Which I love Angus's accent. I love his Scottish accent. People think I know he was raised in Australia, but he was born and raised in Scotland for the first 8 years of his life. And they say you catch your accent after you're about 5 years of age, 6 years of age, when you start talking or something. And he was living there for 8 years, so I still consider him a Scottish guy, because that's literally where he was born. But getting to watch that little 5'2", 120-pound or 100-pound figure in a schoolboy suit and behind a Gibson SG guitar, with all that energy he's got, just really made my week. Really made my life, probably. Because I will never be able to see them again, probably. Even if they do regroup, like I said, with their old bassist, Mark Evans, or one of their old drummers, Phil Rudd, or Simon Wright, and, get back with Brian Johnson. Which I think Chris Slade and I know Cliff's been there since 1976. So I'm not going to say and I know he's great. I'm going to say he's great. He is great. He's one of the greatest bassists ever born, But there is just really no words in any human language to explain how my experience went with that band, besides that they were high-pitched, high energy, high voltage rock and roll. They're true rock titans. And I'm not including Axl in this. I know people are going to be offended by that, but I don't care. And I read somewhere that Angus didn't choose Axl. Like, he just got a phone call overnight and said, "Hey, Axl Rose will be joining your band. You don't have a say in it. Shut up and deal with it." And I was told by a close source to Angus, the Young family, I guess you could say, that Axl wasn't Angus's choice. He stated that he would have waited on Brian, and now that Brian's ready, I think that he should do the last 4 American shows, considering he lives right here in Sarasota, Florida. I could tell you his exact address, but I'm not going to, because I know it. I mailed him a letter stating that he should go back with the band. I know his hearing is fixed. I know the Adele hearing device will help him be able to perform again. I know a lot of things are going to happen. And I explained to him not to call the police on me. I'm just another regular fan that wants you back up there with the band that she knows you from. And I also remember your old band Geordie I mentioned in there. Sorry. Only got 1 more minute to talk, so I better make it count. When I was watching Angus do that solo to Let There Be Rock, it was like the best. It was like the entire universe happened in front of me. My entire universe, my entire life. It was that thrilling and that skull-crushing and that high-pitched, high-voltage rock and roll stuff, like I said. And it's always high-pitched with that Gibson SG and that little Angus Young and those giant Marshall amplifiers. It's just, unexplainable how amazing he was. And I got 11 minutes straight of footage of him performing on there. Not counting the song part. I had to break the song into 2 parts because of his solo, but I didn't miss a second of his solo. Well, I might have missed a second restarting the camera, but that was it. Anyways, I better go. There is no words to explain my excitement and my experience with my first ever concert, which I'm proud to say was AC/DC again. Anyways, thanks for listening. Peace, American power, and AC/DC power, and rock and roll power, and rock and roll will live forever power, and goodbye.